great change in America, a time for reinvigorating our democracy and remaking our country.
President Obama this afternoon welcoming his staff, freezing their pay, the top staffers at least, promising to conduct a more transparent administration than the last one. And this evening, the ceremony attended by a handful, not the 1.5 million who came yesterday. Mr. Obama retook the oath of office, he and Chief Justice Roberts making up for their performance yesterday. More so for the Chief Justice than for the President. Lots to get to in tonight's strategy session. Joining me now, senior political analyst and former presidential advisor David Gergen, John King, and BET's senior political analyst Pamela Gentry. David, there was a lot that happened today, but quickly, I just want to get your reaction to the retaking of the oath. Was this necessary?
I don't think so. Jeffrey Tubman certainly makes a strong case it wasn't necessary legally. Perhaps out of an abundance of caution, they did it again. I think it's a pretty minor matter.
John, all the things that happened today, both the photo ops and the actual things that happened, how does today rank among presidential first days?
Well, it was very important to get off to a good first step, especially since the last Democratic president, Bill Clinton, had a horrible beginning in the early days. At Anderson, there's two key points here. Number one, he promised to have a more open and transparent government. There is some tension with the news media, and Henry just talked about it. That will continue. There's a lot of questions about, is it transparent when Tim Geithner's tax problems were disclosed to the Senate in early December, not to the American people until mid-January. But these new lobbying restrictions and the other restrictions he had put in his staff are being applauded by all of the groups that watch these things outside of government as groundbreaking and landmark. So in that regard, he's off to a good start. And it's more than that. He's going to get the second installment of the $350 billion in bailout money. The American people don't like that program, don't trust any president to spend it, and he wants billions more in the stimulus money. So the lobbying restrictions, the whole idea of trust me, you can trust me, is very important as he begins to spend billions and billions of dollars.
Okay, well, it was interesting to see him with Joe Biden when Joe Biden kind of made that joke about Chief Justice Roberts, and the president clearly did not seem thrilled by the joke and actually kind of put his hand on Biden. Have you noticed a change in Obama just watching him today?
Well, today was interesting because I did go over to the White House, and I thought there were a couple things that were very different. He was tempted, I think, at the end of the swearing in, actually, to take questions, but his body language was obviously unhappy with Senator Biden's crack about Justice Roberts. But you know what I really wanted to mention too, and I agree totally with John King, but I think the lobbying, the ethics issue on lobbying is probably the one that startled me the most, because he made a comment, his line at the end where he says that you cannot lobby back to the White House as long as I am president, really takes the value